Hey, how you guys doing? Hope you had a good day in the markets today. I'm back from my 3 week trip. It was a long time away, but it was a great trip. I really enjoyed it. But I'm glad to be back in the markets. So I figured I'd go over two trades I took with you guys today. First one was going to be on STX or Seagate. It was a gap up stock on earnings. You can see here on the daily. And even though it was a gap up stock, though, I had an inclination to watch for it to the downside because the tech sector in general, specifically Intel and also Western Digital, which is another storage device maker, just like Seagate, had negative earnings. And so there's been this negative sentiment around tech stocks, Google also, obviously. So I was looking to take this short, even though it was a gap up stock. So that being the case, it opens up in the morning, and I just try to be patient and wait. So these first 4 or 5 minutes, it actually pushed higher. Sorry, let me go ahead and delete this. What the hell? Oh, anyways. So I ended up pushing higher, but then obviously it started to come back down, and I waited for it to break VWAP and kind of confirm its direction of going lower. So that's what it did. It broke below VWAP, came back up, and as it started to form this next red candle right here, that's when I decided to go short. So I went short right here, and I just started covering into the wash, right? So I covered to this previous candle's low. This cover I'm not too happy with because it was just at the same price point. I was just it was holding there for longer than I would like, so I was worried it was just going to push back higher. Because again, this is a gap up stock, so it didn't though. So I took this cover, which is regrettable. But then it continued to flush lower, and I took some covers here into the whole numbers, and this was like a fraction of my position that I had left over. I was hoping it would maybe tap VWAP and go back down, but I should have known it wasn't going to do that because this was a very big bounce, right? And it was a very sharp bounce, right? I've talked about in previous videos, VWAP rejections, the ones that tend to work and the ones that I look for, they're more grindy and slow and weak recoveries to VWAP, right? But this one here, this was a pretty strong bounce. So there was a lot of buying pressure. So I should have known that this wasn't going to reject off of VWAP, right? But I didn't. I held like a very small fraction of my position hoping for that. And when it got up to VWAP and everything, I just stopped myself out, right? So I just covered there. So this was my first trade, my big winning trade. I did try to take another trade on it again because here I thought maybe I was mistaken and it was rejecting off VWAP because it kind of held right here and it started to go back down below VWAP right here. So I took it short, right? But it wasn't to be. I was hoping it would go back down. But again, with this kind of big bounce, right, that's a lot of buying pressure. So that's too big of a turnaround, I think, to happen reasonably most of the time. The next trade I'm going to show you, that kind of thing sort of happened, but in this situation, it didn't happen, right? So I went short again, and I just stopped myself out as I realized it was going back up against me through VWAP. So that's my trade on Seagate. Good trade. I'm happy with it. Next trade we're going to go over is NXPI. So NXPI. Sorry, I got the mic in front of me. A little hard to type. Let me center this up for you guys. So NXPI was a pain in the ass. It chopped me out pretty freaking bad. I saw some other traders I know get chopped up pretty bad on this ticker too. So yeah, NXPI was a pretty big gap up here, just on some random PR. I don't remember what the PR was, but it wasn't earnings. And my just surface reading of the PR thought it was pretty weak PR. So I was again inkling to take it short. So in the morning, it pushes higher and it does this kind of choppiness right here. So here, after it kind of came down, had a lower high right here, and it went back down through VWAP. I was thinking it was gonna die and it was gonna go lower, but it didn't. It made a fool of me, and it surged back up, and I got stopped out. And it was playing some games, right? It was whipsawing. So then it came back down again, and as it was coming back down again through VWAP, I took a short again, looking for it to go lower, and of course, it made a fool of me again and stopped me out up here. So at this point, it's two back-to-back losers, decent size, or my normal size loss, and it pissed me off because right after also it did do this nice little flush, but even then, this flush right there, this is a huge freaking fake out, right? I meant you go short here and you're looking for it to continue lower, and then it just surges back up again. So this stock was somebody was holding it up or just playing games, and so it was being really funky. So here again, this is emotional trading right here. These two trades right here, just short, stop out, short, stop out. It was just, these were bullshit. These ones I can respect. I can respect these trades. These two I do not respect. These two trades right there were some bullshit. So I was pretty frustrated with the trade at this point. So I went and looked at other things. But then obviously it's up on my other screen, so I just had eyes on it throughout the morning. And later on in the morning, it did do this little, I'm not sure what you could say, a step down, I guess you could say. It did do this little sell off and then consolidation right here. So it looked to me like it was forming a bear flag, right? So there, and then it consolidated into this little bear flag. And so after I saw these two candle wicks happen, these are pretty two long wicks right here, and it failed to make a new high. Right, it didn't break. It failed to break out of this little consolidation area. Right, that was a pretty good sign of weakness. So after it failed that area, I went short right here, looking for it to break and take another leg lower, and it did. And so it did a nice little flush down right here, but again, wasn't my target. Right, I had the target at this support resistance line I had drawn out, so I was determined to wait. Right, not all or nothing, but I decided to work on my patience. Right. So it went back up. It had me scared a little bit, but I held, and eventually it did kind of flush down and start hitting some of my targets. So, I hit a target at the support level, took another leg lower, took some off at the hold number, another target down here, and then up here I just had an idea that, again, it was a gap up stock, so at any moment it could just kind of rip higher. So when it started to kind of come back up to this support resistance line and go back above it, or it was about to go back above it, I had my thought process was the trade was over, right? I should have, had my stop higher or just been a little bit more patient because it did have more distance to run on it. As you can see here, after that kind of bounce, it did do another big flush lower. So I missed this whole move right here. But yeah, I did recoup a lot of my losses. So I was pretty much flat on the name because these losses really screwed me over early in the morning. That's choppiness. But I recouped most of the losses with this next trade. So that's it. Those are the two main trades for mine today that I want to share with you guys. Hope you guys learned something from it. If you like the comment, if you like the information, if you learned something from it, please leave me some feedback, comment, a like, subscribe. Hit the little like button, and that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Had a good day, and I'll see you in the markets tomorrow.